Okay, so the first question is, how should this given quadratic equation behave so that both its roots are strictly greater than a fixed constant k? Or in other words, I can say, how should the upward opening parabola, which is nothing but the graph of the quadratic polynomial f of x, behave so that f of x equal to 0 has both its roots strictly greater than k? Let's think. First scenario is this. When f of x is an upward opening parabola intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points such that both the points of intersection are lying to the right of k. Second situation is when f of x is an upward opening parabola just touching the x-axis at a single point such that that point is lying to the right of k. These are the only two correct behaviors of f of x which ensure that f of x equal to 0 has both its roots lying to the right of k. Right? But this is the geometrical answer to my question. I want mathematical answer to my question. By that I mean that I want the mathematical conditions which will give me the first figure. And also I want the mathematical conditions which will give me the second figure. Let's see. In the first figure, what can you see? In the first figure, I have an upward opening parabola intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points. That means my quadratic equation has two distinct and real roots which can equivalently be said as its discriminant is strictly greater than 0. Yes, so d greater than 0 ensures that I have an upward opening parabola which intersects the x-axis at two distinct points. Cool. Also, I have k lying here, right? You know that f of x is positive for every x lying to the left of alpha, and f of x is also positive for every x lying to the right of beta. So in here, x is lying to the left of alpha. That means definitely f of k is positive. Do you agree? This is f of k somewhere here, which obviously is positive, right? But f of k positive doesn't imply that k is lying to the left of alpha. F of k positive can also mean k is lying somewhere here. Here also f of k is positive. That means I need another condition, a third condition to ensure that k is sitting on the left of alpha and beta. Okay? Now, when I say that k is lying to the left of alpha and beta, in other words, I can say that k is lying to the left of midpoint of alpha and beta. You know midpoint of alpha and beta, that is alpha plus beta by 2 is nothing but minus b by 2a, which is the x-coordinate of the vertex of this parabola, right? So, if I want to say k is lying to the left of alpha and beta, in the mathematical condition form, I can say that k is strictly less than minus b by 2a. That's it. These are the three conditions which, when considered simultaneously, will give me the first figure. Okay? Right? Similarly, let's examine the conditions to get the second figure. What is happening in the second figure? I have an upward opening parabola touching the x-axis at a single point. That means my quadratic equation has two real and equal roots, which can equivalently be said as discriminant of my quadratic equation is equal to 0. Right? Secondly, you can see that again, corresponding to k, f of k is positive, right? So, second condition is this. Yes. But just f of k positive doesn't give me that k will be positioned here to the left of alpha and beta. K can also be positioned here if I say f of k is positive, because corresponding to this k also, you can see f of k is positive. That means I need one third condition to ensure that k is sitting on the left of alpha and beta only, which is again same. K is lying to the left of alpha, that means k is less than alpha, or you can say k is less than beta because alpha and beta are same, or you know that in this case, they are both equal to minus b by 2a, so I can say k is less than minus b by 2a. These are the three conditions which, when considered simultaneously, give you the second figure. Okay? So that means when I club these conditions and these conditions together, I get the mathematical answer of my first question. What? That a quadratic equation, this quadratic equation will have both its roots strictly greater than a fixed constant k only and only when the discriminant of the quadratic equation is greater than 0 or equal to 0 and the k constant is strictly less than minus b by 2a and f of k is strictly positive. When all these three conditions will be holding simultaneously, then and only then will you be in a position to say that this quadratic equation has both its roots strictly greater than k. Trust me, even if one condition is not considered out of these three, you cannot say that your quadratic equation has both its roots strictly greater than k. Now in here I want to know what should be the behavior of this quadratic equation such that both its roots alpha and beta are strictly less than a fixed constant k. Or in other words, I want to know how should the upward opening parabola f of x behave such that both the roots of f of x equal to 0 are strictly less than k. Let's try to answer this question. The first situation can be this. When f of x is an upward opening parabola intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points which are both lying to the left of k. Right? In this situation, f of x equal to 0 has both roots real and distinct which are both lying to the left of k or which are both strictly less than k. Right? So this is one situation which is answer to my question. Another situation can be this. When f of x is an upward opening parabola just touching the x-axis at a single point which is lying to the left of k. In this case, f of x equals to 0 quadratic equation has both real and equal roots which are less than k. So this is another situation which is answer to my question. So first situation or second situation, both are answers to my second question. Agreed? But this is a geometrical answer to my question. I want mathematical answer. That means now I will be deriving the conditions which give me the first figure and I will also deriving the conditions which will give me the second figure. Let's start. In the first figure, you have an upward opening parabola intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points. That means the discriminant of f of x equal to 0 is strictly greater than 0. Right? D greater than 0 ensures that the quadratic equation has two distinct real roots alpha and beta. So this is the first condition. Secondly, what can I see? That k is lying to the right of beta. Okay, in here, if you look at f of x in the first situation, for all x less than alpha, f of x is positive. For all x greater than beta, f of x is positive. Because k is lying to the right of beta, I can say f of k is positive. Do you agree? K is lying to the right of beta means f of k is positive. But understand, f of k positive doesn't mean that k is lying to the right of beta. If k would have lied here, even then, f of k would have been positive. So that means I want a third condition which will ensure that k is lying to the right of beta. Right? Because I want alpha and beta to be less than k, or I want k to be greater than alpha and beta. So I need one last condition which will ensure that k is lying to the right of alpha and beta. That means I want one condition which means that k is lying to the right of midpoint of alpha and beta, which you know what I'm saying. I will say k is lying to the right of minus b by 2a, which is the x-coordinate of the vertex, which is nothing but the midpoint of alpha and beta. These three conditions together, when considered together simultaneously, will give me the first figure. Got it? Similarly, we derive the conditions for the second diagram. In here, what's happening? I have an upward opening parabola f of x touching the x-axis at a single point. That means my quadratic equation has two real and equal roots, which in other words, I can say that its discriminant is equal to 0. Also, you can see k is lying here. That means f of k is positive. But again, f of k positive doesn't ensure that k is lying to the right of alpha and beta. Even when I say f of k positive, then k would have also lied here. If k lies here, even then f of k is positive. Do you agree? But I want k to be lying to the right of alpha and beta. That's what I want, right? So I need another condition which will ensure that k is lying to the right of alpha and beta. And you know what that is. You know this is nothing but minus b by 2a. So I'm going to say k should be greater than minus b by 2a. These three conditions, when considered simultaneously, will give me the second diagram. That means mathematically, when I club all these conditions together, I get the answer of my second question. What do I get? That this quadratic equation will have both its roots alpha and beta strictly less than a fixed constant k only when the discriminant of the quadratic equation is either greater than 0 or equal to 0, and k is the fixed number, which is strictly is greater than minus b by 2a, and f of k is strictly positive. Only when all the three conditions will be met simultaneously will I be in a position to say that this quadratic equation will have both its roots strictly less than k. Again, trust me, you can't afford to miss out even one condition out of these three. Got it? All the three conditions should be met for you to say that this quadratic equation will have both its roots strictly less than k. Got it very nicely? Right? Now let's move ahead and answer the third question. Now in here I want to find out how should this quadratic equation behave so that both its roots lie on opposite sides of a fixed constant k. Or in other words, I want to know what should be the behavior of the upward opening parabola f of x such that both the roots of f of x equal to 0 lie on opposite sides of k. Now understand the first thing before we move on to the diagrams, the figures, the situations. The question says k lies between the two roots. Now, k can lie between two roots only when the two roots are real and distinct. Do you agree? If both roots are equal, how can k lie between them? Right? That means the question itself is trying to say that d is greater than 0. This question makes sense only when you have a quadratic equation which has two distinct and real roots or whose discriminant is strictly positive. So d greater than 0 is not a condition that we are going to get. This is a condition which is inherent already. Okay, this question makes sense only when d is greater than 0. That means we are only going to get a parabola which is intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points. Right? F of x will be a parabola intersecting the x-axis at two distinct points representing the two distinct real roots of my quadratic equation. Okay, this is the only type of behavior of the upward opening parabola that you can get in this particular question. Okay, if you want k to lie between the roots, that means k will lie anywhere here, between the roots anywhere. Now understand, for all x greater than beta, f of x is positive. For all x less than alpha, f of x is again positive. But for all x between alpha and beta, f of x is negative. Agreed? K is lying between alpha and beta. That means definitely f of k is negative. Right? Now tell me, if I say f of k is negative, does this mean k lies between alpha and beta? Yes, of course, if f of k is negative, if k is a real number such that f of k is negative, that means only one thing, that k lies between alpha and beta. So that's it. This is the only condition, the only mathematical condition required to reach to this diagram. Got it? So, only one condition which should be met for you to say that both roots of this quadratic equation lie on opposite sides of k is that f of k should be negative. That's it. Because d greater than 0 condition comes already inherently along with the question. You don't need that separately. Got it? The only one condition which should be met for you to say that both the roots of the given quadratic equation lie on opposite sides of k is f of k should be negative. That's it. Bingo. Okay, so now you know the answers of all the three questions in location of roots that we've studied today.